This recording is for authorized internal review only. Unauthorized access will result in immediate containment procedures.
Security Alexander Downbat. My free time? Most of my free time these days I spend in the library at the university. I have been working there during my degree. Yeah, it's been really fulfilling. I could see myself in a similar role post university. Obviously, I'd like to do something a little different than that when I do graduate.
Hi. Are we rolling? Oh, we are. Hi. Yeah, so how do I like to spend my free time when I've no obligations? I guess I like things to be organized and clean. So once I'm in a nice environment like that, I just enjoy delving into a good book. Yeah, that's probably how I love to spend my time. And I like to hang out with my friends as well, and get to know new people around the campus, learn things about people and our environment.
Probably reading.
In my free time? Well, I don't have a lot of that right now. My studies take up most of my time, but if I do get a spare hour, I'll take a walk. The university's got some great views. Also, probably spending more time in the library reading.
Good evening, and welcome to Every Breath You Take, the second episode of our Monster of the Week campaign, March for Midnight. I actually forgot the name of it for like a split second. My brain did a complete total air fart. How's everybody doing? I'm not gonna lie. I have been really looking forward to this since the last episode. But while we navigate technical difficulties rather well around here, one curse has been tripped again as we are down Richard for the evening, due actually to technical difficulties. So we didn't really navigate technical difficulties tonight either. But Richard, hopefully you're watching along or you're catching the VOD afterwards. Hope you're having a nice evening. To everybody out there in chat, hello. Thanks for dropping in on this rather slightly balmy, overcast evening. If you're in Ireland, in the southwest, I don't know what the weather's like for the rest of the country, and this isn't a weather broadcast. This is a TTRPG actual play. So we are going to get down to tonight's session very quickly. But before that, a couple of house rules, a quick recap, and a nod to some friends of D8 Dungeon. Monster of the Week And Marked for Midnight in particular are a horror-inspired monster hunting game. Marked for Midnight will be playing on very heavy horror vibes, some gore, a lot of violence, and a lot of darker themes. If that's not your cup of tea, then this isn't the stream for you. If you don't like graphic horror, then I would be suggesting check out some of our other productions: Romance in the Dungeon, probably not Saving Grace, TTRPG Trials, Random DMs, Rise of the Forsaken, Ben and Declan on a Roll, plenty of other stuff to check out over on our YouTube channel. However, if that does sound like your cup of tea, then to quickly note, if you are a fan of the best worst B movies from the 1980s, all around slashers, horrors, gore, and the supernatural, welcome along. Marked for Midnight is heavily inspired by all of my favorite things from the 1980s, and my particular love for a good mystery and having players run through it and kind of writing that mystery themselves. I am Declan. I am the DM around these parts for D8 Dungeon. And tonight I'll be playing the Archivist, our narrator, curator, and all round horror master. I'm joined by Emma, Eilish, and Dahi. And we're going to start playing in 2 seconds. Before that, though, Emma is going to tell us a little bit about some pals around these parts, and then Eilish is going to take us into our recap from the last episode.
Yes, so we have the privilege of being sponsored by Mystery Dice Goblin, who are a UK-based all-round TDT RPG accessories store. They do some really cool mystery dice bags, which Declan has a...
I have one right here. And I haven't opened it because I like the mystery.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Yeah, really cool shop. They have some really nice stuff. I was looking at their towers recently. They're pretty awesome. They have some great things. So if you use the code D8, you'll get 15% off. And a portion of that comes back to us here at D8 Dungeon. And we can use that for things like music and artists and all those good things to push back into the community. But yeah, Mystery Dice Goblin, they're really, really cool. Definitely recommend them.
And Eilish, our recap on our very first session 2 weeks ago, Somebody's Watching Me.
Okay, I'm going to refer to my notes because a lot happened. So essentially, we've all been recruited / voluntold / chosen, selected for a research trip
voluntold?
Yeah, I heard voluntold. Like volunteered and told.
Yeah.
No.
Have you not?
No.
Hilarious. It's when you're told that something is like, would you like to do this? But really, you don't have a choice, and we're going to make you do this.
I know. I work in the public sector.
So essentially we were all late, apart from Morgan, because she's a goody two shoes. And for different reasons, I think Alex had been up late researching. I was accosted by some religious types. I'll refrain from using any derogatory words. But the creepy pastor, is that what we want to call him?
Yep, Pastor Josiah Crow.
Yes, he stopped me. It was kind of weird. Didn't like it. And then we all got on the bus. And when we were on the bus, we heard about a crash. And that meant that we were down a person for the project because the person in the crash, whose name I can't remember, I'm so sorry, RIP, was the person who was supposed to be on the trip. So that is why we're being joined by a mysterious addition this evening, aka Dahi. So yeah, all fun and games. We had a pit stop at a diner / truck stop thing where I saw the creepy pastor, but nobody else, aka the cool kids, believed me. And when they went to check, obviously he wasn't there because this is a horror movie. Though Alex did run into a weird homeless person, and I feel like that might be foreshadowing of some sort. So we'll talk about that later. And then what else happened? Morgan made fake IDs for everyone, which was not very goody two shoes of her. And then when we got to Lake Pineview, we set up our tents. We were all allocated bunk mates, and everybody got invited to a party except me, which was rude. What else? I think that's all. Then Alex heard whispering from the forest, and my book started speaking to me. And that's what you missed.
And I actually think we're gonna start with Antoinette. We're gonna start with you in your tent, and as you sit there and the small little battery powered lantern flickering away, you can hear some absolutely bodacious tunes just whomping through the night air. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and you can hear people crooning over it as well. A little closer to the tents, like a little closer to kind of the campground, you can hear kind of conversations. You recognize the voice of Vanessa Fitzgerald, the TA to Dr. Berkowitz. She and Dr. Berkowitz and Professor Kasim, who were already at Lake Pineview when you arrived a couple of hours ago, are set outside just chatting when you hear the honking of a horn.
She's gonna stick her head out the door of her tent.
You see that the faculty are all kind of wearing heavy, thick coats, except Dr. Kasim. She has a brightly colored poncho kind of thrown over her, and she has it kind of wrapped up around her arms, and then she has a scarf kind of around her neck. She kind of gives you a quizzical look when she kind of notices you kind of just pop your head out from the tent. Marilyn, Dr. Berkowitz, I think that is perhaps our last member of the field study. And she kind of nods and she smiles at you, giving you kind of a little wave.
At me?
No, she's waving at Antoinette. You see him kind of roll and stretch out his back. And he does. He kind of curls it out a little bit. Miss... and he kind of looks to Vanessa. Bailey. Miss Bailey, are you not down with the other youth in all that revelry and camaraderie and gang culture?
No. I prefer the company of my books.
Oh, quite astute of you. I am sure you'll do very well at your studies, but you'll live a very lonely life. What say you accompany me as we meet our final researcher? And you can see kind of Vanessa biting her lip a little.
I was gonna get an early night.
Excellent. And
he's sure, no problem.
and he kind of dusts himself off a little bit, ladies, and he kind of waddles over towards you. He's a short, crooked little man. He's for years from probably being hunched over a desk. Like it's that sort of fixed posture he kind of has, and you see that his pants are a little too baggy, though he's still dressed very very neatly, even under that heavy coat. Um, he kind of shifts towards you, and he's just his tufts of hair, just kind of. It looks a little bit like a wire, that a wire brush. It's that very sort of wiry, woolly look to it. Um, and he kind of he's carrying kind of a cup, and he takes kind of a swig out of it. It's gone cold, and he kind of just chucks out the contents, and it splashes up against the tent, um, paying it no bother whatsoever. And he kind of shuffles away from the camp, down towards the car park.
So, who's the last volunteer?
Oh, for the field trip.
This
Yeah,
person?
yeah. I believe he's another PhD student, marine biology. Is that something that you read about in your book?
Oh. Okay. No, not recently.
Oh. And who are you reading these days, if I may be so bold as to ask?
I'm kind of more working on some contemporary literature, modern romance. It's for the study.
Oh, are you perhaps? And he looks around. Do you read Linda Howard?
Do I?
You tell me. Like,
I don't know. I feel like this is a trap. Yeah, she's gonna like. Oh God.
It's not. He very much sort of kind of like looks you up and down a little bit. Give me a act under pressure roll.
Ooh.
Oh God. I've lost my dice. One.
Huh?
You've no idea who Linda Howard is. Like, and he starts to kind of rattle off all of these names, like a bunch of novelists: Jane Ann Krentz, Judith McNaught, Elizabeth Lowell. None of these are names you recognize, and he fixes a look on you. And you said you were reading this for your studies.
Yeah.
Then you have quite a bit of reading to do, Miss Bailey. If you haven't even touched McNaught, I fear you're lacking.
I will add it to my list.
I'd put it top of the pile. And he does. He looks a little perturbed at you. Like he does. He's just kind of he's tutting. The dedication to academics. It's all that rap music. Are you listening to that? Do you listen to a lot of that hip and hop?
And she she kind of looks down at herself and then is like, no, no, I'm not really into the hip and hop.
And you can see uh you can see that he's a little, the conversation stunts abruptly, like um not really engaging with him academically, and he tried to make a bit of conversation there. Now he just doesn't care, and he very much lets you sort of dwindle behind him, and a little further down this dirt road, it opens out onto a car park. Is a stretch. It's just a bigger dirt road where the bus had kind of stopped, and had kind of pulled up. There's the bus has since left, but uh, stood there with the full beams on. You see a navy blue taxi, um, and a kind of a warbling guitar riff crackling over the radio static, and there's shouting going on from within. You can quite clearly hear it. Norman,
That's
the uh, the call came very early that morning. Your application had been misplaced. You had signed all the waivers, all the guarantees, and you had been shortlisted, selected, and now rapidly approved to take the last place on the interdepartmental and interdisciplinary academic field trip. A bus ticket was shoved into your hand. You were to get on the bus at 1 p.m. that day, and to take it south. From there, you were to charter a second bus that would get you closer to Lake Pineview, and from there, either walk or hopefully find a taxi. And in the nearby town of Myrtle Springs, you happened upon the only taxi driver available at that hour, a charming retired fellow by the name of Dennis, who agreed to take you the rest of the way to Lake Pineview. Dennis has. Are you okay with picking up in the taxi? Let's say on the
Yeah,
way.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. Lamplight, streetlight, eventually just vanishes. It's swallowed into the night, and it's just the occasional headlights from cars on the highway. Even then, they start to become sparse, and kind of, even if you counted between them, the seconds are turning into minutes, and the minutes are now teetering towards an hour since the last time you saw a car. Every couple of minutes, the radio changes as Dennis starts to. They're all quacks. Every single. Hey, you hear this guy? You hear this guy? Golden Dusty. Are you listening? Hey! You can't. No, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. No, we're almost there. Just don't go to sleep. And one hand back, he is just clicking fingers right, literally a couple of centimeters from your face.
No need to snap. I'm awake.
Okay. I would say Golden Dusty, absolute hack. I went down to WL96 and I told him, hey, hack. You know what you need? You need Dennis. Like, nobody else can do this. And he just takes both hands off the steering wheel. And it's just like, and he starts air guitaring right in the middle of it. And the car actually shunts, like literally
Oh
kind of
God.
like, and then oh, sorry, I kind of lost the flow of myself. What I'm so sorry. Norman, right? Norman?
Yeah, yeah. Norman.
Norman, yeah, the Normster. Okay, so
Don't call me that, but yeah, Norman.
may have chewed on you, dude, but okay. So what's taking you all out to Lake Pineview again?
It's for research. I'm a
Hold that thought.
PhD.
I'm so sorry. Hold that thought. And he just changes the radio again as like the song changes and it goes back to the DJ, and he switches and he keeps cycling back and through it. You catch your reflection, Norman, in that moment in the rear view mirror. What does Norman at this moment, shunted into the back of a taxi? What does he look like?
So I think he sees not a lot because it's pretty dark, but as per usual, he can see his pretty large glasses shimmering off any bit of light that comes past the window. They're quite a heavy pair of glasses. He's wearing, you can see his kind of like half crumpled, not properly ironed white shirt because he had to get up pretty early to get this bus all the way out to here, and it's crazy that he's not there yet. And his two signature eye bags peeking out from his glasses. He's pretty pale. I think he's probably looks at himself and thinks that he could get a little bit of sun maybe while he's here. And although, is it winter? Are we in winter?
No, we're in spring.
Okay, yeah. Maybe he's thinking like maybe he can get a little bit of sun by the lake, just while he's out researching. And just a little tousle of sort of deep chestnut brown hair.
A very strong grassy smell fills the taxi as Dennis leans kind of down. He pops out the cigarette lighter, and the interior of the cab is illuminated, and there's a faded looking tiki dancer, little bobble, moving back and forth. There's a whole load of wristbands hanging from the rear view mirror, as he lights up a joint, and he kind of takes a long hard drag on it. What do you know about the black helicopters? And he kind of
Is that a band?
No. Norman, look, I'm gonna go on the level with you. You strike me as a learned fella. Like you look like you got smarts.
Okay.
You know anything about these choppers that they've got flying around looking for stuff?
That sounds probably like it's military.
Right. Yeah. No, I was saying that to a buddy of mine, Glenn, and I reckon it's Ruskies.
You know what? Maybe that can be what you talk about on your radio show.
That's actually a really good idea.
Look, I told you. You said it. I'm smart.
Okay, write that down. You got to write that down.
As we speak, he's not writing it down.
He starts to search through kind of like the front of the cab, and he literally throws back like a burger wrapping to you. Okay. So the black choppers, the moon landing.
Yeah, in the 60s. What about it?
How do we know they landed up there?
Man, I don't know. I was in high school. I was.
Yeah, but did you weren't in space. You don't know that they got up there. You don't know.
Do you know?
No, that's what I'm saying. Nobody knows. So how do we trust the government, man?
I think
they're putting LSD in the cheese. This is like
Did you have any of that cheese before we got in this cab, Dennis?
Norman. I thought we were kind of kindred souls. I thought you.
Well, we could be if you shared.
I'm sharing the truth with you, man.
I'm sorry. Carry on.
It's so. My friend Glenn, my buddy Glenn. He's a roadie. For the Metal Sparrows. Have you heard of the Metal Sparrows?
Are they like the black helicopters?
No. Why? Are you making fun of me?
I'm not making
And
fun. I'm just
the
curious.
taxi just turns sharply to the right.
Oh, just like shunts. We almost there, or?
Oh yeah, it's just up this dirt road, and he presses the accelerator.
Oh my god. Yeah, but look. I think once you get that radio show, man, it's all gonna go up from there. You got to focus on that. You got to give yourself a 5-year plan. You know, I could help you out with that.
Give me a manipulate someone.
Ooh, charm. I'm okay at this. Oh, okay. That's 7, 9.
Okay. So, 5-year plan.
All right.
And he kind of lets off on the gas, like it's kind of
Yeah.
you're still going fast, and the taxi is like whatever suspension was left in this car is now left at the bottom of the road because every bump, every hole, every rock he's hitting, and you are jostled all over the place. That tiki little model going back and forth is doing, hula. Not tiki. That hula little figure is
Going crazy.
It's rattling. It's hard plastic, just rattling. And he's okay. So right. Okay. And he pulls the handbrake, turns, and the car comes into kind of a full sort of sliding turn skid. Like pressing down.
We're drifting through the countryside.
We're drifting up this dirt road.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I missed. It's 5:45 a.m., but I had to stop by and wish everyone except Declan good rolls and vibes. Okay, joke's on you, Emily. I don't have to roll in this. So I picked this entire system to stop you jinxing my rolls.
Hi, Emily.
And, but I won't. I'll always stop mid description to annoy you back, Emily. So, the car comes to a screeching stop, and then he just hits the horn with 2 like slaps. Okay. 5-year plan. Okay, we're here. 5-year plan. I'm going to need you to write this down. Okay, so
I'll write it down. I'll write it down.
Just put it all down.
He's going to start writing down, like, he's going to write down a 5-year plan of, like, year 1, save X amount of money by picking up extra work, like, you know, whatever. Year 2, get yourself enrolled in broadcasting, in like a broadcasting, like, community college or something. 3, like, network, make connections within broadcasting, blah, 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 blah. 4, you know, find a research path that suits you for your he doesn't want to say conspiracies, but he says theories. And 5, land a job in broadcasting. He's done that out for him.
He'd finished his joint a little while ago. And as you were doing this, like, he is rolling another as you were kind of writing all this down. Oh yeah, crap, man, your luggage. And he finishes rolling the joint, hands it to you. And then goes out and the trunk pops as you're continuing to write this plan out for him, and you just hear your luggage thud, like he's just kind of half tossing it out.
He's kind of like wincing a little bit, but he's like, I said I'd do this for this guy. So
trunk slams, and he's sending at the door, kind of like almost like a driver, like a professional driver. And he kind of, what the hell What the hell's that, Norman?
What's what?
Go to college.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're never too old for learning. You're never too old for education.
What the heck kind of crap is that? I am too old to go to bloody college. Where did you
No, never. You're never too old for college, but
save
you're never
money?
too old for education. If you can put something aside for yourself and invest in your
Why
future.
did you scratch out conspiracies?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I hope you have a good day. He's going to put a little an extra $5 in his pocket, and is like, to start off your funds. And he's gonna get out and he's gonna grab his bags and just like leave this weird man alone.
I'm talking to you.
And you know what? You're really good at it. So best of luck at broadcasting. I can't wait to hear you on the radio in 5 years, man.
This is the shouting. This is the commotion, Antoinette, that you
God.
and Dr. Berkowitz stumble into.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, great! More eggheads. Okay, enjoy your field trip, nerds.
And he is going to flip him the bird.
Cool. Enjoy the trip. Hope everything works out for you, man. Look out for the steel helicopters or whatever you're talking about. And he picks up his bags and he starts to head in.
Quite a colourful chap. You've managed to ferry yourself here with Mr. And he's looking at you, Antoinette. Oh yes, Mr. Men. Yes.
Man. Norman Mann.
Norman Mann.
I'm sorry,
Bailey.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna have this much trouble with enunciation, maybe education is probably not the best path.
Who did you say your supervisor was again?
My supervisor? That's not relevant really to this.
Oh, it is. You know, we're obviously reporting back on how everybody fared.
So am I.
Oh, interesting.
And you know what I heard? A lot of people in the faculty are talking about reviews coming up this summer.
And he looks at you, and they are.
Indeed.
It's wonderful what tenure does, isn't it? And he kind of he hoists his pants up a little bit, like he's getting ready for something.
And he's watching this like a tennis match.
I think he just kind of says under his breath, like, "Oh, they're giving that to anyone these days."
Doctor, sorry, no, not yet, Mr. Mann. Miss Bailey's here to help you with your luggage and your bags and your belongings. She can account you with what she's currently, possibly, maybe one day, eventually going to study.
Well, who is this? Who am I actually talking to? Who's
Dr. Marlon Berkowitz, the head of the research unit.
What department is Berkowitz in?
That's a very interesting question. Marlon,
sorry.
Dr. Berkowitz is he's a floating lecturer. Ethnostologies, anthropology, sociology, human behavioral sciences.
Okay. So Norman has very little respect for Berkowitz. I think he doesn't care for sociology and anthropology. He doesn't really care for them as sciences. Dr. Berkowitz, I'm sure myself and young Miss Bailey can handle ourselves from here. I'm sure you've got plenty of things to write up about this trip so far at first day and all. Probably plenty of paperwork. We shouldn't really be getting too much in your hair. busy man.
He's already walked off.
He turns to you. He just kind of goes, "Sorry, do you have a first name? I'm not Mrs. Bailey kind of guy."
Yeah, my name's Annie.
Norman.
And it's Bell Lee. He again, like you said, and she takes his hand. His enunciation
Bell
needs some work.
Lee. Yeah, you think somebody working in anthropology would, have a better command of the English language, but whatever.
Well,
I think. Why are you not with the other students? Aren't they like probably up to stuff right now?
I didn't get the invite,
Yeah. So
but they're. Yeah, I mean, you can follow the screeching.
I'm I'm a little too old for all of that. Rooms? Where are we staying? Where am I staying?
Oh, and she kind of gestures sheepishly to the tents that have been set up.
He kind of looks and he's like, "Ugh, I've stayed in worse on he's stayed in worse on field trips, definitely, but he's like, they
I
couldn't have
think
sprung for a
you're-
cabin."
No. On their budget? I don't think so. People
Fair
have
enough.
tenure to pay.
He like genuinely laughs at that. He just kind of looks at. You said Annie, right? Annie, right?
Yeah.
Do you smoke?
I mean, sure.
No, she does what?
That lunatic taxi driver left this in my hand.
Hilarious.
If you want to, and to be honest, you seem people not getting the invite are my kind of people. So
Cool. Or not. Yeah. Let's go. She's so awkward.
I think Norman is like that level of over it. He's just that kind of level of like he's just been in education for so long. He's just kind of sick of it. He knows how everybody acts. He's like just kind of very over it all.
Fair.
But he heads with you, and yeah, he's gonna offer to light up this joint with you. He grew up in the
Sure.
70s, guys. Look, he was 20 in the 70s. All right.
Yeah, she'll kind of walk him over to. He's bunking with Alex, right?
Yes, yeah.
So she will have noted which tent is Alex's.
Oh.
And then she will kind of hang around outside while he dumps his stuff.
He's
so-
wearing like he looks like a librarian. Actually, you've probably seen him in the library, and I think he probably feels a little bit different here than he does in college. Like if you've ever seen him in the library, he's very pushy. He's very like by the book. Everything's whatever. But I think being outside of the setting, he seems a little bit different. Just a little bit more normal, maybe.
Less of a stick up his butt.
Yeah, I think so. I think he just comes across more fed up, I think. He gets out of the tent and he's just like,
Okay.
Christ, they really could pay for something a little bit better. A man of my age is not gonna love sleeping on the ground.
Come on, you're not that old.
That's really sweet of you, but yes, I am. My freaking sciatica's acting up. Is there anywhere to sit around here?
This is too real, Jack. This is too real.
Look, it's all in my future too. He's gonna ask if there's somewhere to. He's gonna check if there's somewhere to just like sit, like a park bench or something.
There is all the tents are arranged sort of in a semicircle.
Mm-hmm.
In front of those, there is a small little fire pit, like you would see in kind of those campgrounds. This is like this plot's sort of little fire pit. Around it, there are kind of stumps and smooth stones, and kind of eyeing the pair of you you do recognize Norman, Vanessa Fitzgerald, and Stephen Landler.
He like
two other-
tucks away the joint, really like quickly, just like tucks it away, like, oh god, not my contemporaries.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't think they've like sat to light it up yet, but he's like, oh, popped it away, and he's like, oh, let's maybe not. He doesn't respond to them. He doesn't like say anything to them. I don't think.
Yeah,
He just
again,
acknowledges.
they are very much sort of in that human sciences and the arts in terms of their discipline. And what year is it in this story? No, it is 1986 in our story. So they are set round, and they kind of look over, and it's not even sort of you don't get hello, you just get kind of a very polite nod from both of them.
Yeah, he just nods back.
You recognize you recognize Vanessa. She kind of stands up and like that, very very prim and proper, edgy, like sharp is one of the best words to describe her. I think that's enough for the first night. Stephen, why don't you go and shut off that? And she kind of gestures down towards the lake, and I can catch Mr. Mann up on the events and the plans. And Stephen kind of like we're the same level. Like I'm actually older than you.
Stop delegating me.
Stop volunteering to me what to do. He does. He kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. Do I take the music off? Just go, Stephen. Norman. Sorry, Mr. Mann. We've never actually formally met before. And
Norman
she kind of,
is fine.
she stretches a hand out to you.
You're Vanessa Fitzgerald in
correct. Yes.
Arts or sociology. I'm sorry, I'm not sure of your major, but I recognize you from the library and teaching assistants.
Yes, you are correct. I am working with Dr. Berkowitz on this research. How was your trip? Thank you so much for coming last
The
minute.
pleasure is all mine. I jumped at the chance to come here, and
she takes a step back from you. I'm so sorry. I think it's the bus, maybe, or
no, it's the taxi. Myrtle Springs is a really interesting place. Don't visit it ever.
Oh, well, the itinerary, we are going into the town tomorrow morning.
Fantastic. Of course we are. It's a lovely little town.
Yes, it is. Miss Bell-Lee, are you all right?
Yeah, I was actually just...
Well, it's just getting very late, so maybe you want to retire for the evening.
Sure.
Excellent. And she kind of gestures to your tent.
Annie was just telling me.
Norman.
Annie was just telling me about her work, what she's studying and stuff. We got a little bit caught up in discussion.
Oh,
sorry, my fault.
Oh, it's great to see that that's already taking place. Part of this whole interdisciplinary, interfaculty meeting was to invite collaboration from different disciplines.
Did I clock anything that like gives away what Annie studies like on her? Like, was she like carrying that like her book with her, or was she like? Do I know anything about Annie? Like what discipline she might be in? Because he's trying to riff a little bit here.
There isn't a mechanic for this, but give me a roll of your 2d6.
Okay, cool. Ooh, 9.
So she's not carrying anything on her, but you do know.
I know her from the library, to be fair.
And you know what she checks out.
Okay.
And you know what she's checked out a lot.
Okay.
Dort.
Give me, Eilish, give me a book that you checked out recently that you think she would have checked out recently. What do you think she's reading? Maybe that isn't so
Oh God.
filthy.
Actually, Declan gave me
A
I can't
reading
remember what he
list.
called it.
You have to
Lady
read all of
Dark
his books.
Winter.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's telling me about a fascinating book she checked out recently. Lady Dark Winter seems pretty interesting.
She's going to go like
And
bright red.
Vanessa looks, I wasn't aware the university was holding that kind of material in our library.
The university library holds very many different types and genres of materials. We're quite broad.
Oh.
Being
And
one of
like,
our custodians, I would know.
of course, and she kind of like she kind of doesn't really know where to look now.
He has no idea what this book is because he doesn't
No.
read fiction, so he doesn't know why people are freaking out a little bit here.
Oh God.
I wouldn't really have pegged you. And she kind of looks you dead in the eye, Norman, as she says this, and then back at Annie. For a fan of those books,
I've never read it. She was just
But
talking about it a little
whatever we get up to between the sheets,
bit. Goodness.
and
We're-
she just, good night. I think we have to be up so early in the morning.
Of course.
When the cock crows, after all.
Jesus
and-
Christ, Declan.
he just kind of says,
You're supposed to be keeping the
"See you in the
tone.
morning. We'll see you in the morning, or we'll see you in the morning, Vanessa." I almost said, "We'll see you in the morning, Declan."
Declan.
We'll see you in the morning, Vanessa. He just turns to Annie and is just like, "What is the book you're reading? And what did I just say?"
From there, we cut down to the lakeside. And Morgan, a very drunk security, is fighting with a boombox.
What do you mean by fighting?
Trying to keep everybody away from it. So, like, the boombox is his. He brought it. It's mint. It's brand new. Like, it has a shine off of it. And he won't let anybody play any of their tapes because he doesn't trust them, and they could wreck his machine, his tape deck. So he only has the one tape, and it's only on the A side, and it's been playing the same 4 songs over and over again.
What are the 4 songs?
Throw me to the wolves, why
How fast can Declan Google?
I love that song.
Yeah, that song. It's The Power of Love from Huey Lewis and the News. Saving All My Love from You from Whitney Houston.
Uh-huh.
Don't You from Simple Minds.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah.
And it's been stuck on We Are the World, USA for Africa. It's only going back that far, and it's starting to sound a bit warbled.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Morgan will go over to security and kind of gently rest her hand on his arm while handing him like a solo cup of alcohol of unknown origins, and just say, "Security."
He kind of looks up at you, very sort of bleary-eyed.
Security. Can we have a chat for a second? Like, I'd love. Do you know what, the lake looks gorgeous? I'd love to take a walk with you.
Okay, folks, and you kind of a voice just kind of cuts out through the night air and over the music.
No.
I'm so thank you all. Wow, and Stephen Landler, one of the PhD students and assistants for the field trip, kind of comes stumbling over the brush. And he kind of looking around. We are going to call it a night for tonight. So if you wouldn't mind, and he kind of looks at you, Morgan, and at security and at the tape deck.
Stephen, what is your favorite of these 4 songs?
We Are the World, I guess.
That's the wrong answer. Try again.
I haven't heard the others.
All right, okay. We Are the World. Okay, rewind it. Okay, I'll rewind it. Security. Can we rewind it back to the start of the song?
Okay, give me a roll of 2d6.
Yeah. 10.
Yeah, security is very busy with his red cup. And he's drank it, and now he's trying to like flip it up onto his own head. So he's bit the lip of it, he's trying to flip it up on his own head. So he's kind of distracted by that as you manage to carefully rewind the tape without doing any damage to either the tape or the machine, and it begins to play We Are the World again. Oh, this is not the song I was thinking.
Oh, what song were you thinking?
Have you heard of Paul Young?
Yes, of course. I love Paul Young.
Okay. And is that on the tape?
No, but I think I have it in my tape case. I grew up with CDs with their tape cases as well.
Pet holder.
So she's going to go through her tapes and then try.
Okay. Miss Berry, I really appreciate that you are DJing this fete. Dr. Berkowitz has actually asked that we do call it a night.
We'll bring Dr. Berkowitz down then.
No.
What's Dr. Berkowitz's favorite? Like what? I bet I have it.
Why don't we pack up this, go back to the camp, and then you can ask him first thing in the morning. We have to be up super early, and I really do not want to get on Miss Fitzgerald's bad side. Please, Miss Berry, can you just turn the music off and we head back up to camp, please?
I would love to, but I actually don't own the boombox. You'll need to talk to security.
Okay. And
she bursts into the chorus of We Are the World.
Everybody, give me another roll of 2d6. This is to manipulate someone, so you can add your charm.
Okay.
That's wonderful. That is
7.
so funny.
Everybody is kind of doing it with you. Yeah, they're all kind of swaying, and then you hear Callum, one of the guys that you know, just we should all go skinny dipping.
Yes.
And
she starts to take out her shoulder pads.
Yes, yeah, it's that immediate sort of you're the first person. And then Emily is
Get away from me.
No, Callum, we are not. Morgan, could you take a chill pill and just you ruined it. That's it. Okay, everybody. Okay. Morgan and her bra ruined the party again. Buzzkill. And now Leland is here? Landler? Leland? Whatever. And Stephen turns, he's cradling security, who's crying. And he's still trying to fish it's Landler, actually. Nobody cares. And she just kind of bulldozed past with her boy toy, Maximus. You see that he has the biggest hickey on his neck. And she storms off with Maximus and heading kind of back up towards camp.
Well, okay. Should we skinny dip?
And everybody kind of looks a bit more sheepish. Maybe not tonight, Morgan.
All right. Okay. Let's go back, I guess.
You, as you are kind of, the party is falling back. You do hear like, "We are the world, we are children," from Callum, who is like, and then someone kind of elbows him, and it kind of gets quiet as the tape deck is shut off. And all you can hear the saunter up the path towards the camp, and you do see the faint kind of firelight coming from the pit. It is security kind of drunk, weeping about how he doesn't get to go to Macedonia this year. That the family have decided to holiday in Mexico. And that's where they went last year, and he doesn't want to do that. You head to your tents, and night falls. And I think that's a good spot before we kind of jump into our activities to take our break, if that's okay.
Yep.
So we're going to be back in it's 1:15 now. We're going to be back in about kind of 5-10 minutes. So this is a perfect chance for everybody at home to grab a drink, go for a stretch. We're going to do all those things, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Bye.
And welcome back to Marked for Midnight. Marked for Midnight. Our Monster of the Week adventure campaign here on D8 Dungeon. We left our 3 university students in the aftermath of an after party, and having retreated to their tents, the night dwindled on, unperturbed by nothing more than just the sound of insects chattering in the distance, the occasional hoot or shriek from an owl nearby, and the distant sound of Lake Pineview and her waves lapping against the shore. You were all awoken by the sound of a cowbell rattling.
I'm in the same tent as Annie. Right?
Yeah.
She's gonna lean over and just hit her and be like, what is that? What is that? What
Can
is
you
that?"
stop touching me? I don't like it. I guess it's morning.
Okay, let's do it.
Rise and shine, everybody! Greet the dawn.
Oh, shut up.
Hey kid.
Um,
Hey kid. Hey kid. Oh. Oh. And I think Norman just puts the blanket over him a little bit more. Puts like his blanket like over like his head to cover it, so there's no light getting in on him.
Just covering him like a corpse.
Yeah, basically, it's
just
like
closing his eyes.
I just gets out and zips up the tent.
Cressley, can you get me some electrolytes?
Sure.
You zip the tent, and you do it. Dawn hasn't even broken yet. Like, it's still dark out, but you can kind of see over the mountains and hills across the other side of Lake Pineview that the sky is beginning to shift. Like, the colors are changing, and it is this sort of very, very deep burst orange beginning to kind of paint across the edge of the horizon. And Dr. Berkowitz is standing there in like a jogger suit, a navy and burgundy jogger suit, just sort of like rolling his shoulders and doing deep breathing exercises. A little further on the other side of the fire pit, you see Professor Kasim in these sort of flowing, sort of linen trousers and a top. Again, a shawl, a kind of a very, very light, delicate shawl wrapped around her shoulders, this swirling purple and navy. And she is in a crane pose as she stretches on her yoga mat.
Oh hell yeah! Do we know what? She's a visiting lecturer.
She's a visiting lecturer. Yes.
What's
yeah.
her field?
She's not. She
sure.
hasn't even been formally introduced. Other than this is Professor Kasim. There's been no real sort of discussion as to who she is or what she's doing here with this group. Berkowitz kind of looks to the group. Good morrow, everybody. Nice to see so many faces up greet the dawn. And he points to the window. That's west. And he points east towards the mountains. Behold, its majesty, its unwavering, unrelenting cycle and circle across our globe. And he sort of shakes his fist up into the air. The lake air, it is invigorating. Huh? What do you say, Miss Berry? Are you invigorated?
I am.
Oh, chirper. I like that.
Should I get my yoga mat?
And Professor Kasim kind of looks when she hears somebody else's yoga mat, and you see her kind of like try and shift awkwardly so she doesn't have to make eye contact with whoever said that.
I'll leave it for now. That's fine. I'm just excited for the day.
Everybody packed walking shoes, boots, correct? Yes. Great.
Mhm.
I hope they are well worn in. Lord knows you do not want blisters. And you literally see Emily sort of like, no, mine are new. Um, uh, they're new. What did he say about old boots? Um, and Vanessa kind of takes her to one side and is like telling her like pack the boots with like some soft tissue and brace yourself because this is not going to be a nice walk. It's a brisk 90-minute hike down the lakeside and then a further 60-minute walk into the haven of Myrtle Springs. Tally ho, everybody! Ready, out we go! Oh, up!
Annie, take a little bit of this for the morning. And he hands Annie some off bug spray. It's like some off-brand. It's just, we're probably gonna
Thank
need
you.
it.
Yeah. You're genius. And she's like dousing herself.
He already stinks with it too. 'Cause he's like, I am not getting eaten alive here. He takes it back and pops it in his like satchel.
How she's gonna look around for security and just be like, where's Alex?
Who's that?
Your bunkmate?
Yeah, he's not. He's unwell. Let's say, unfit for travel.
Right.
That boy had a lot
Okay.
to drink last night.
Uh,
It's not going to reflect well on his end result, but you know, kids.
well, yeah.
Are you with us? Or Emma, is your character with us? Or are you just kind of about?
Let's say she's like maybe about 4 or 5 feet behind you guys. Yeah. She's not interacting with you, but she's there.
Yeah.
And she's like, she kind of grew up in the outdoors, so she's just picking some wild herbs that she knows how to make her own natural bug spray. So she's just getting some like lemongrass and lavender and just mushing it up and like putting it on herself.
Oh yes.
He can like smell the things. He's like, young lady, you are going to be accosted by dragonflies if you keep. You want some? And he goes to hand her some of the bug spray.
No, it really messes with my my hormones and my oils, and then I just break out. But no, I'm fine with this. And dragonflies, honestly, I really love them. I think they're great.
Give me a
So funny.
give me a trust your gut roll, Morgan, which is just a 2d6 plus your weird.
Weird is +1. Okay. So 7, so 8 total.
You are so you've found kind of a couple of it's mostly kind of wild garlic, and if that keeps vampires away, that'll probably keep mosquitoes away.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, it's I mean, you believe it works, therefore it works. Sort of approach to this. But you have a wonderful garland of wildflowers as well. Like, so there's that going for you.
And a quick side note, she's one of those annoying young people that just doesn't get hangovers. So,
I love it. On that note, security isn't the only person who has succumbed to what Vanessa was convinced and had managed to convince Romina of dengue fever. And Vanessa and Dr. Mathis, one of the older lecturers who had kind of driven on the bus, I think had been set with you, Annie, on the bus. Yeah, he has volunteered to stay behind to keep an eye on those who have succumbed to their illnesses, with Vanessa Fitzgerald actually the one in charge. Not particularly happy about it, but she nevertheless kind of makes herself busy around camp. It does take close to 3 hours to get down the side of the mountain and the lake, and on the outskirts of the town. You are trekking through wildlands, and there are paths, there are trails, and water and supplies are sort of furnished out to everybody. As you are, as you make your way into Myrtle Springs, you had driven past it on the way to Lake Pineview. Gus refused to make a stop. If we had stopped in Myrtle Springs, he would have been late. If he was late, that wouldn't have gone well on his record. And he refused to stop in the town. Hence, now the need to go in first thing this morning. This excursion is more of a provisions acquisition, I believe, is the term that Dr. Berkowitz has been talking about. Basic supplies and necessities for the trip. Food of the more perishable variety. There's plenty of dried and cured stuff back at the camp. This is for fresh, good, real, honest food. Myrtle Springs is it's a town that blossomed with tourism, and you do see the after effects of a tourism industry that's gone bust. There's a boat rental store, like building, like a small hut shut. There's kayak and fishing gear store shut. Hunting supplies only opens Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday. The town itself is a dusty, tired place. Is there anything, like, you are kind of like Berkowitz with Mr. Landler, one of the PhD students, and Kasim are heading towards the general store, like a supermarket. Is there anything in particular that either any of you would like to do, or?
Norman is keeping an eye out for a black taxi and avoiding it, or a navy blue taxi and avoiding it as much as possible.
You don't want to run into Dennis again?
No. Other than that, he's just kind of sticking with Annie, because Annie's like the only person he actually like has spoken to here.
Yeah, I think Annie will just be kind of wandering aimlessly. You know, if it has one of those like trinket shops, like in most touristy towns.
It does. It's and it is. It's literally Dinah's Closet of Wonders.
Okay, she will wander over to Dinah's Closet of Wonders.
Morgan?
Morgan actually might follow in, and then she's going to kind of like link her arm when she sees Annie in the store and just be like, isn't this duck so cute?
It's a taxidermy duck, and one of its eyes is clearly not a duck eye.
This place is so weird. And she'll put it back and then start leading her around.
Norman is kind of hanging by the door, not really interested in all of this stuff, but just kind of like, I guess I'm here with these people now, so I don't want to talk to anyone else here. So.
From your vantage, Norman, you do see that some of the other students, like some of the other research members, some followed in behind Dr. Merkowitz into the general store. Others are kind of wandering and kind of just exploring and kind of gaping into like some of the vacant buildings and stuff like that. There is an old woman set behind a counter inside the shop. She is currently very much invested in a newspaper. She doesn't look up as you come in.
I think that Annie will just be kind of, allowing Morgan to wander around or escort her around, I guess that's the right word. And like she'll like pick up if there's like little tumblers of crystals or any like postcards or anything like that. She'll look for that kind of stuff. Something that she can like stick in like a scrapbook.
There's one of those little carousels, the tall, narrow ones. A lot of it's empty, but there are a couple of like postcards faded, kind of sun damage. There's some sunglasses with the plastic kind, the kind of, and they're novelty ones. Like there's like pink flamingos. There's a shark one. There's a kind of a couple of like broken magnets stuck to the bottom of this thing. As you turn it, it's just kind of, and you just hear the rustling of a newspaper.
Hello.
And then a clear flick of the newspaper.
Oh. Okay. She will pick up a postcard and root in her pocket for some change.
The postcard is a picture of it's like a painting of Lake Pineview, like a reprint of a painting, and it's this wonderful sort of landscape of the lake and the mountain. Again, slightly sort of sun bleached, like the colors are slightly kind of off in it, but out of the stack that you find in this very sparse carousel, it's probably the best one. And as you kind of root around in your purse for some pocket change, what's everybody else doing? Morgan?
Morgan is going to wait for Antoinette, and then she'll try and escort her back to the main group when that happens. So that's what I'm holding my action.
I think Norman is going to look out the window and just see. Did you say Vanessa came here?
No, Vanessa stayed behind. Vanessa
Okay.
and Dr. Matthias stayed behind.
Stephen didn't.
Steve
stay.
did. Yeah.
Steve came with us.
He
right?
came with you. Yeah.
He's. I think Norman is going to be looking out. Did he head in with Dr. Berkowitz to the general
Yes, they all
store?
went into the general store.
Okay. Is there anything else of note? Any other like buildings of note? Like, there's a diner or something here, right?
Yeah, there is. It's just not as you would expect it to be. It is just literally just called Bill's Meats.
Yeah. I think
it's across the street.
I think he's just scanning the town a little bit and just like thinking about it. I don't think he's doing an awful lot.
Okay, if you're just kind of staring out, kind of looking, you head up to the counter, Antoinette, with your postcard.
Hi, just this, please.
85 cents.
She will hand her $1.
I'm sorry, the register's broken.
That's okay. Great.
And she kind of, with all the dexterity of someone who's almost been like a statue with this newspaper, she's still holding it. It doesn't even crumple. You just see kind of a withered, old, wrinkly hand just scoop the $1 up, and then she just sticks it into her cleavage.
Thanks.
And then she flicks the newspaper.
She's just gonna take the postcard and put it in her backpack.
You want a bag?
No, that's fine. It's good in here.
Let's go.
We should probably head back to the rest of them, or check out. I don't really understand why we're here in this town. Did they want to get supplies?
I think so. Perishables.
Fair. We should probably do the same. It would be wise to stock up on a few things.
Everything perishes at the lake.
That's it. Are you? Did you say something?
And the newspaper just rustles.
Oh, right. Let's. And then Norman is opening the door already, and is heading out.
She needs a new slogan.
Sorry, you're. I recognize you from.
I'm Morgan.
Norman.
Hi.
I realized we hadn't been formally introduced.
I think we've crossed paths once or twice, but
It's
great to be here with you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No loitering.
We're on the way, man. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Russell. She is nice. I like her. Yeah, I guess we'll head towards the general store and maybe pick up some things if we can.
Yep. You see, like a couple of the others have kind of flocked to here as well. Callum, Mike, and Max, alongside a very whiny Emily. She whined the whole way down the mountain, across the lake, and down the trails. Her feet are sore. There's too many bugs. She can't breathe. It's too wet. It's too hot. Her feet are actually extremely sore. Bugs are grody. The trees are looking all gnarly. Like, when are we there yet? And now outside, you see that she's at a payphone and she's like, "Hi, I'm just trying to order like a cab.
Dennis.
Hello, hello." And you can just hear sort of a disengaged tone. Oh my god, rude Arama. And then she just hangs there. What is it with absolute bumpkins? Oh, I'm so sorry, Barry. I didn't realize you were standing there. Yikes.
Let's make the most of this, Emily. We can enjoy this trip together.
Oh my god, totally. Yes. I think Dr.
Berkowitz?
Yeah, Doctor whatever, totally needs your help inside with stuff.
Okay. Do you need anything while I'm in there?
Oh my god, like, totally no, thank you. Jesus.
Nifty. We'll see you around.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.
Norman is just like
What up?
walking with the two, and it's just kind of like, why is everyone here just so rude? Like, he's like, what's wrong with people?
It's just an aura.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk into the store, just going, "We are the world."
It's on the radio.
From the other side, you do hear Callum echo you, and you just see like 4 bags of chips kind of over his head, and like there's this huge like 3-liter bottle of like soda in the other, and he is just kind of waving it kind of back and forth. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, and yeah,
Yes, Callum.
he kind of like he comes out, and you can just see like this really sort of like confused man at the checkout, kind of wearing a shirt, brown pants, and a faded red kind of apron. And Dr. Berkowitz is I'm pretty sure I brought the checkbook, and he's kind of like actually store credit, Bob, is it? And he kind of looks at the name tag. Is there anything you want to do in the general?
I think Norman is going to pick up some just like little bits and pieces for food for later, just so himself and the poor dying Alex don't starve. Because I know they have food at the camp and stuff, but like they want like snacks and things. He's also going to pick up an Alka-Seltzer if he can for the young sick boy back home.
Bless him.
And he's going to pick up some antacids or something, just some little like medical bits if he can, because he feels sorry for the poor guy at home.
What a cutie.
Yeah, again, it's you'll find kind of bits and pieces around the store, like on different aisles. It's not a this is more of a kind of a convenience store than than a supermarket. But you do there is a kind of a sort of a first aid. It's right next to the bait and tackle shelf. So there is sort of now it's not quite Alka-Seltzer. It just says Ma's good for you chalk.
Yeah, that's enough. That
yeah.
like I think he's not in the place to argue right now. He's like, whatever I can get, this boy is getting, and he might puke, but you know what? It might be worth it. He might feel better because of it.
Morgan and Annie.
Morgan kind of grew up on the road, right, with the traveling circus, so she kind of knows how to shop and buy supplies. Emma does not. So I am a privileged person. So I would like to buy things that would be useful. I don't know what they are.
So what I will tell you is Berkowitz is handling like the groceries. Like he just needed pack mules to bring everything back up the mountain. So you don't need to go and buy stuff you can buy your own like your own kind of groceries, your own little consumables. So like if it's
I think she'll do that. And then like, is there like a makeup stand maybe?
It's the first aid stand. And there's six tubes of lip balm.
She will take the nicest one, according to her.
It's just called lip grease, and it all is natural.
Okay, perfect. That's what I do. Yeah.
Morgan?
Annie is going to buy some.
Sorry, Annie.
That's okay. She's going to just get some chocolate and like sweets.
Okay. As the three of you are sort of down, we'll say that kind of between two aisles, kind of near the first aid / bait and tackle / makeup counter. On the other aisle, just sort of just at the bottom, there is like kind of a snack stand, and we're gonna say, Annie, you're kind of like you've a handful of some stuff, but it's like marshmallow fluff, and like there's like little.
Oh, I know, she's getting s'mores ingredients.
You again, it's that weird sensation that you all feel like somebody's watching you.
Annie will look over her shoulder and kind of do a double take around.
It's that as you turn and like you can kind of see Norman and Morgan both kind of browsing kind of the same stall. Annie, as you kind of look at them, and it's not them there. You look around and you can see Emily and that bunch are all outside. Oh god, actually, yeah. Sorry, I remember. I named her Emily. We renamed her Emily. Yes, yeah. Emily, that awful bitch, is
That
out front.
bitch.
And she's trying to pay phone again. It's not them. Down at the back of the store, you can see here like a small sort of hallway, and the door is sort of ajar, and you can just see kind of light from outside, like peering in. It's like this must lead to like kind of the storeroom or the janitor's closet or something.
It's like a fire exit or something.
Something, yeah. And again, you can just see it kind of ajar. And the wind catches it and it kind of swings open a little bit. And there's somebody standing there. and their hand is just pointing straight at you.
At all of us?
Uh,
Kind of in your direction.
Do we see this, or is it
Just Annie, yeah.
just Annie? Okay, perfect.
She's
Okay.
gonna smack whoever is closest to her with the graham crackers.
Oof. What the hell? He's gonna look over at this staring person and see if there's a staring person. Well, look over at what Annie's pointing at.
There is just this kind of haunched figure, just standing kind of in the doorway. They're just pointing.
You okay, bud?
And the wind kind of continuing to kind of push it. It bangs against the wall, and it kind of bounces back. It bangs against because there's something ajar, like it's on the bolt, and it clangs again, and the door swings open, and there's nobody standing there.
Norman's gonna go for the door. He's gonna like walk for the door, and he's gonna like open it up. Does it lead into somewhere, or does it lead outside?
This leads outside, and as you kind of push the door open, it leads into like there's a car parked here. There's a chain link fence that leads back out onto sort of a field and brush and woods beyond, and there's 2 bins.
Yeah, he's gonna just scan out and see if he can see the person. Is there a car? Is there cars parked in the car park?
A single car.
He's gonna head for the car. He's not even like if he doesn't know if the girls are gonna follow, but he's like, what's this guy's problem? You know? So he's gonna head towards the car and just kind of give it a little once over.
You see that there is like an employee sticker, like on the dash. Car looks fine. Car looks new. Doesn't seem out of the ordinary.
Sure. He'll head back to the store. Just like head in.
As you kind of step back in, and the door kind of screeches and clangs against the wall. You missed it, Norman, because you were kind of bulldozed straight out. But that small kind of storeroom, that area here, you can see that there's like a side, like literally is like there's a door for a bathroom. There's some boxes stacked up around the place, like obviously some supplies that have been ferried in from maybe the storeroom. There's a shelf stacked with cleaning supplies, a mildewy mop bucket. That's not really what catches your attention. As you are heading back into the store, on that wall next to the door back into the store, there's a notice board. And there's there's an employee roster, and it is just Bob the whole way down. There's like a faded business cards. There's like a smiley face that someone has kind of drawn in biro or pen to like make it look like a sad face, but now it just looks like a weird mouthy smile kind of a thing going on with it. And there's some posters.
Anything weird? Like there's just posters. Any like? Do they look like they're like things coming up, or?
Give me investigate a mystery.
Okay, sharp. Ugh, not great. That's a 5.
Like as you are kind of like, it's again, you don't really spot anything. Morgan and Annie, you watched as Norman kind of followed out after that person, and has come back and is now kind of just stopped there and is staring at something. You can't see what they're looking at.
Did you find him?
It doesn't seem to be around. He could be.
I'm glad.
Is there like a the door to that bathroom is there?
Closed, yeah.
He's like, he could be in the John.
Gross. In the John.
But
Uh,
let's just
I'm
keep an
just
eye on things.
yeah.
all right?
I'm just glad I didn't imagine it this time.
This time.
Yeah, I saw. You know that creepy pastor that hangs out at the college.
Does
Uh,
Norman know?
Everybody knows this guy. Everybody knows.
Oh, Pastor Josiah Crow is what you
Yeah.
said earlier, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Pastor Crow.
I could
Joe.
have sworn I saw him at the diner on the way here, but when the guys went out to check, he was gone.
He shouldn't be here. He should be. He's. What day is it currently?
It's Wednesday.
He should be making his rounds, wagging fingers at students protesting or whatever he does in his day-to-day life.
Right?
That's weird. There must maybe look. I'm not saying you're crazy, but maybe you just thought you saw him and he was just a guy who looked like him or something.
Yeah, maybe.
And this pointy fella, let's just keep an eye out for him. He's probably just a town drunk or something.
I'd say he's just a local. Every town has its quirks.
True. Anything you guys need to get before we go? Because it looks like Dr. Berkowitz is loading up the pack mules there.
I was hoping the longer we take, the less we'll have to carry.
We had the same idea.
Oh, that's unfair. We should share the load. Let's all take an even amount.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do at this point?
No.
Well, it's great that Dr. Berkowitz had the same idea, Miss Berry, as everybody is handed a brown, double stuffed brown paper bag with equal amounts of groceries dispersed amongst them. And Mr. Mann, you seem the most trustworthy and able-footed, as he was observing your gait on the hike, and you've been entrusted with the eggs.
Excellent. That sounds perfect.
And 2 watermelons.
Do you know what I love to have when I'm by the
Carry
lake?
the watermelon.
Yeah.
You head back up. No taxi was available for Emily to ferry her back up to Lake Pineview, though Maximus does end up giving her a piggyback ride most of the way, and it's totally fine, babe, because it's just great for my glutes. And yeah, you head back to Lake Pineview. Food is prepared. Vanessa has kind of an itinerary all kind of remapped out and updated. All sort of done in perfect penmanship, not a line out of place. Very good. Why don't we just assign the research groups now? Then, Miss Vanessa, if you wouldn't mind, I'll put this in your capable hands. Dr. Kasim, you were telling me all about egg shakshuka, and look what I happened to find in the general store. Now, how many tins of? And he kind of leads her away, as he kind of starts to figure out the recipe for what will be late lunch, early dinner. Vanessa disperses amongst the group and hands you out kind of a document wallet, and there are 4 names on it: Antoinette Belli, Norman Mann, Alex Security Downblythe, and Morgan Berry. The 4 of you have been assigned as research group number 3.
Excellent.
In your packs, you'll note that there are a number of activities scheduled over the next couple of days. You're all undertaking the same research goals. However, for the sake of our results and what Dr. Berkowitz and I am assisting him with are keen to measure, are the way in which your teams behave and react and respond, given your interdisciplinary approaches. So, with that in mind, you are all going to be doing different things today. So, if you want to consult your pack, if you've any questions, please refer them to my colleague Stephen Landler. And Stephen has a mouthful of beef jerky, and he kind of looks at her very perplexed. I am going to be observing, and you see that she kind of just almost out of nowhere materializes a clipboard and a clicky pen. So you can obviously, whenever you are ready, and she kind of gives a very pushy eye, get going with the research.
Wonderful. Perhaps we should form a little research. We should form a little group and a little huddle and kind of talk over what we want out of this. Sound
Let
good?
me just take out my notebook and we can get going.
Perfect. Norman is like annoyingly prepared for this kind of thing. He pulls out like a manila folder from his bag, and it's like all paper clipped and like bull clipped in, and he's like leafing through it, and he has like printed from the library. He has, or sorry, Xeroxed. Let's Xerox from the library. He's got like field research, like notes, like structured notes and whatever. It's like aims, like findings, all that kind of stuff. He's printed multiples of these, and he like kind of like faux binds them a little bit with like bull clips and paper clips and kind of hands them to each of you. And he has a spare one for Alex, and he's gonna kind of stash that away. So we start off with a little research group. We come up with what we want to find here. I know what I'm looking for. I've heard that this lake had a lot of tourism, and I really want to know how it affected the microbiomes going on here. It's going to be very good for my PhD, for my thesis. But you guys, you're not science students, are you? Or are you?
I'm studying, reads notes, environmental science. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, you could. I actually did my undergrad in environmental science too. Master's in marine biology and PhD now in lake microbiomes and whatnot.
That's
So
amazing.
perhaps we can. I can help you out there. Who've you got? Who's your lecturers?
Before we get into that, can I just say that I absolutely love how prepared you are and these notes. This is fantastic, and you know what? I'm really hoping you can be my mentor on this trip. I think that I can learn a lot from you if you're open to that.
That sounds great. If you had Dr. Calloway, I did too.
I did have
Professor
Dr.
Calloway.
Yeah.
So I had him too, so I know how he works. So I can give you some pointers for how to curry favor with him if you wish to.
That'd be great.
And Annie, your literature, or else you just have a voracious reading habit?
Yeah, no, I'm studying English lit, but I'm actually here for a psychology project.
So what are you looking at? Ethnography, that kind of how people get along in these kinds of situations under the duress of certain professors?
Well, so how do I put this? Well, okay. In modern romance novels, there are certain tropes that most plots will follow, and I want to see if they translate to real life. So I'm looking at the dynamics of romance in a forced proximity setting.
That's certainly That's certainly a topic. Not one I can help you with, I'm sure, but I give you
all
structure.
hear the very audible scratching of the nib of a pen against paper and a hardwood clipboard.
Oh.
And standing just a couple of feet away is Vanessa Fitzgerald, just observing the three of you.
Miss Fitzgerald, are we disturbing you?
Oh, not at all. Please continue. It's quite interesting to see the dynamics of your group already unfolding. You didn't
Is
even
that-
consult the research pack, and you presumed.
Oh, we have plenty of time to consult the research pack, but I think it's in a group setting. It's always important to figure out what everybody's aims and goals are first. Correct?
It is, but you have the 6 goals of the research trip to complete.
Of course, and those will be completed. But we are also
Excellent.
students with our own prerogatives, Vanessa, as you are.
Indeed. And she just click, click, and then she writes again.
Norman is going to rigorously go through the research pack while the other two do whatever they're doing. And he's going to make double notes for Alex because Alex is out of commission. So he's going to like double up basically on his notes for their
There's-
companion.
The first couple of bits and pieces are just kind of documents from Blackwood University and the research unit. There's sort of a dossier of who's here. There's a sheet with like emergency contact numbers, all those kinds of bits and pieces. There's a Xerox laminated page. There's a couple of them actually. One is of local flora that are poisonous to the touch, poisonous to ingest, and then there's a map, like a topographical map of the area. There's 4 copies of all these things in this for everyone to kind of take. In the pack as well, there is there's a compass. There's a there's the map. There's the dossier. And then there's the research brief. So on that brief, and this is the order in which you are to complete. Each research team is completing the 6 of these tasks, but they're all doing them in a different order. You are to first look for etchings of old prospector markings. And with the included pad, and there is a pad of tracing paper and a small little box of charcoal, find, etch, and catalog the various symbols utilized by prospectors on the mountain. During the gold rush, it was believed, though it was never found to be it was believed that the mountain was actually brimming with gold, and many people came from across the country, from within the state and beyond, at the possibility of finding and striking gold. And again, there are tidbits and little factoids along that. There is the hundreds died on the journey and on the mountain. And then the etchings were used by prospectors to kind of denote various different sort of sites and kind of their accuracy. So you've been asked to find these and catalog as to what you think they might mean. Do you want me to run down through all 6?
Yes, just so we can. I just want to make note of them, if that's okay.
So oral histories and community mapping. So explore how people and cultures shape and are shaped by the natural landscape. Environmental policy. So exploring Lake Pineview and coming to understand its important place as a natural environment, alongside the economics of the environment and its foothold in the tourism industry. Aquatic ecosystem survey. conducting field research and connecting ecological health to human activity, historical land use, and cultural artifact and settlement survey. So it is this interdisciplinary goals kind of mapping out across all the various sort of interests from students across Blackwood University.
What was the last one?
The last one was cultural artifact and settlement survey.
Thank you.
So looking for old structures, tools, and trails.
Can you paste this to us?
Yeah, I'll send them to you afterwards.
Emma's not committing to the bit.
Have I ever?
Yeah, I think does. Oh, I don't know, Alex. I don't know security's major.
It's philosophy, I'm pretty sure.
I think he does ask. He asks you guys. You guys know my bunkmate's major?
Philosophy, I think.
All right. Okay. He makes some extra notes around the things that might be interesting for him in his studies in these 6 things. So he's making like a little pack basically for both himself and for Alex.
That's so
sick. I think as well he's probably been to the tent with some he'll probably head to the tent with some the remedies he picked up and whatever. So
okay. So what are you all doing?
Do we have any samples of what the etchings look like?
Nope.
We're going on an etch hunt.
how early is it in the day?
It's late into the afternoon. You remember you awoke before dawn, so it's kind of late afternoon. We are heading towards evening, but it's bright out, and it'll stay bright for a good while yet.
We could get a head start on this first part of the project if you all are willing.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what etchings from prospectors look like.
I mean, look, we'll be looking for pathways to old mine shafts. It's going to be closer to the mountain base, probably.
We want to look for some natural coverage, right? So kind of caves, cliff edges, anything underneath that would give natural shelter, that kind of
as
thing.
well as keep an eye out for things like desire paths, so paths cut through the underbrush that people have made because that's the good way to walk. Plenty of prospectors would have used those, I'm sure, or would have carved them out in their time. So there's probably markings along those on trees, on old stumps, on old rocks, all those kind of things.
Annie is kind of looking at you both in disbelief, like, how the fuck did I know this? Okay. Well, you guys sound like you know what you're doing, so let's head out.
All right, let's make it fun.
I think we should. As they're leaving, does Norman see Stephen and Vanessa?
It's just Vanessa. Everybody else is when the 3 of you kind of look up from your huddle, all the other groups have disbanded. They've gone out already. Vanessa is the only one kind of standing there, and she is just furiously taking notes.
Cool, that's fine. Yeah, I think they'll head out then with a plan in mind.
You head out kind of towards, are you heading towards the lake? Are you moving up? You said you were moving you want to move more towards the mountain.
Yes, because that's where mines would.
There are a number of there are hiking trails kind of up along here, and there are some that kind of lead off to away from the lake and towards kind of the mountain. And there are a couple of signposts like that, for the Donkey's Mine and stuff like that. It's just there are places so that are kind of mapped already on these routes. So you the 3 of you kind of, having checked in on security, head off that direction. Who's leading?
Definitely not me.
I think Norman is leading.
Yeah. Morgan's definitely going to be excitedly be behind him, following him.
Um, Norman, give me
Yes.
give me a roll of 2d6.
Okay, 7.
You've you've all been kind of walking for a little while, like, and you're uh, again kind of tired from the hike earlier on, and you're probably not going at the pace that you'd kind of expect or hope, but uh, everybody is kind of muddling along, and you're checking rocks, and you're looking at trees, and so on and so forth, and um, you've you've been following this path toward the donkey's mine for a little while, and it was just a straight walk, and now it's slowly climbing. And as the trio kind of make their way to the top, and you kind of look back, you can see at the bottom of this hill, you can kind of see kind of the tops of the trees, and just beyond them, the campgrounds, and beyond them, you can just kind of see the lake. And it's a little overcast today, and that's kind of helping. It's kind of keeping the sun off all of you. But as you kind of stare, you can kind of even see some of the other groups. You can kind of make out people moving around across the lake, or along the lake, rather, along the lake's edge, near enough to the camp, but uh, not so much that you'd like, it doesn't seem to be. You can kind of see a jetty of land just sticking out, and you can see kind of smoke coming from a thicket of trees. Just a thin wisp of smoke up.
Hmm.
Morgan, you have found an X symbol carved into stone.
Oh my goodness! Guys, come here, come here.
What is it? Is that a cross?
X marks the spot. Is this where the treasure is?
I'm gonna
I think
take.
that's pirates. We should take samples of this. You're right, Morgan. Good work.
Yeah, you're just gonna etch it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
you do, and like you with some of the charcoal, and you make kind of the X. And again, it's not. I mean, it's been smoothed with time, but it is kind of crudely cut into this rock face. As you continue kind of looking around and kind of exploring, everybody give me a investigate a mystery.
For posterity, anytime we take any of these etchings or findings and stuff, I'm taking 2. 1 for our little friend back home.
Morgan, I'm going to let you add a +1 to this.
On top of my other +1?
Yeah, so yeah, it's like a bonus for this.
That's a total of 5.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Okay.
Ooh, what do we add to investigate a mystery?
Sharp.
Sharp.
That's an 11.
I got a 5 out of 6 +1. I'm so happy.
Nice.
But here's where this gets fun.
No.
For me. Morgan and Norman, you end up at loggerheads because everything you find, Morgan, that's an etching. We have to trace that. That's definitely, like, if you look at it, that looks like a squirrel upside down, and that's probably something to a prospector. And then everything that you find, Norman, doesn't quite agree, and the two of you end up kind of at like, and you find several more of these X's. You find kind of a swirling arrow, like an arrow kind of like leading in on itself, and stuff like that. But that is just rings on a tree, even though it's carved into stone, from Morgan. And it is, for you, Annie, it is just what started out as, God, they seem to know everything. Now it's like what you often see sometimes at the university debate teams, and sort of the coming together on discussing, and then it slowly devolving into bickering and pestering, and you don't know if it's Morgan's enthusiasm or Norman's abrasiveness. But they seem, these two opposing forces are very much at loggerheads with each other. And you watch as the pair of them argue over a star symbol that is clearly carved into an old oak tree. And yeah,
So, what do you think a star might mean? Clearly, these people need to be pointing to paths and pointing to places. This isn't a book. They're not going to be carving star. This is probably some teenager who carved this sometime.
No, I think there's a lot more to it than that. And I actually think if you look at the direction it is pointing, it matches the North Star. So I feel like they were actually trying to track.
This tree is far more westerly than the North Star would point. We really need to be thinking about this, Morgan. Let's just follow the path that clearly I've been finding, and we'll find more of these actual. And the last one you took looked like a squirrel, but we really need to be serious about this.
Have all the previous ones been in stone, or are some of them on trees?
some are stone, some are in trees. Yeah.
Norman,
Yes.
I am really excited to be here and to be in this pack with you. And I don't mean I just get excited when I see something that I've learned or studied before. I don't mean to annoy you. I just like to say what I'm feeling, especially when I think I'm correct.
Annie,
Noted.
they are discussing with fervor their opinions for the second time now. And the star has been brought up again. And there's very, very strong feelings about it. But you hear something in the distance. Like you hear like it's something, it's like a branch breaks or a twig snaps, something in the distance. And when you look back, there was somebody there a second ago at the tree line, haunched over, and then they vanished.
Like, not a familiar silhouette.
No, it didn't like it. It could have been a bear, because the way they were standing, but it's not. But you see something.
You guys.
And so I just don't understand why the star.
Hello.
What? Yes.
Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry, Annie.
Is there bears in these woods?
Are there bears in the woods too?
There are bears in the woods.
Yes.
Okay, well, we have company of some sort. I don't know. I didn't see exactly what it was, but it's either a bear or Vanessa is following us.
Both sounds terrifying.
Either way, it sounds terrifying.
We should probably head back anyway, right? It's starting to get dark.
I think we've got enough findings for today, regardless of how many might be relevant. But yes, we should head back. Are you okay, Annie? Did that spook you?
Yeah, a little.
Okay, let's not push ourselves.
Woods are
There's
noisy
stuff-
places, and sometimes we just hear things we're not used to hearing in our day-to-day lives.
And look, this all this stuff will be here tomorrow.
Right, that's true.
You're heading back?
Yeah.
As you kind of regroup and Morgan, you finish your etching of the star, the three of you packing up the few bits and pieces that you brought with you, heading kind of out back onto that trail out of the woods and kind of onto that path. Annie, keeping an eye on where you had seen that figure, that person, the like in the thick of the trees. At first, it's like, nah, let's just that's just the way the tree looks. That's just, but like as you move past and you kind of start, the first tree you passed, that was just a trick of the light, or you're tired, or you're just freaking yourself out. But now that you see it on a second tree and a third, every tree has the number 13 carved into it. And
they're fresh.
Yeah.
She's going to. There's 13 of us on the trip, isn't there?
There's 12 students and there is 5 faculty.
She's going to kind of reach out and run her fingers over the one nearest to her, and then just be like, "Hey,
You found one, finally.
As you put your fingers on it, you feel sort of like you can feel like the wet of the wood behind it, and there is a smell, and your fingers are sticky, and it's sap. The smell is really familiar. And as you look down at your hands, where you rub the gunk together, they're red, and you can smell metal. And that is where we will leave tonight's episode. Every breath you take. But I'm not finished.
oh no!"
Night rolls in as ye head back towards the camp, and Annie, as you sort of stuff your hand into your pocket, and you're like, it's again, you're tired, it's the hike, it's the nerves, it's the edge. You don't really know. You just want to go back to your bunk. We drift down the mountainside over the lake and towards Myrtle Springs as Bob begins to shop for the evening and close the general store. He mops the floors and he packs away the supplies. He hangs his apron and he reaches for the exit. And it swings open violently, and a gust of wind whips in around him, and the notice board rattles as the roster and the business cards and the postcards and stickers are all sent spilling into the air. And buried beneath a wall of old, crumpled paper are faded posters. 14 of them. All missing. And that's where we leave tonight's episode.
So scary.
Fun.
Spooky.
Big
Those
thank you
producers.
to Dahi, Emma, and Eilish for tonight's episode. I am finding my feet with the system, and hopefully, well, no, not the next time, because the next time we don't have a full roster, but in a month's time we will definitely have a full roster of players, or I'm calling it quits.
Not really.
But in 2 weeks, we're back in 2 weeks' time for another episode. But Emma can't join us, so instead it'll be myself and the gang getting together to talk about Monster of the Week, the system, talk about this adventure and our inspirations for the characters, the setting, and so on and so forth. So it'll be sort of a behind-the-scenes chat. And hopefully we'll catch you for then. This Thursday, there's a brand new episode of Ben and Declan on our roll. Ben and I are going to be talking about God and bringing God into your games and what it's like to work with a Pantheon and where those ideas come from and how you can utilize them. Over the weekend, I had the privilege of chatting to Daniel, the dungeon master for the Knights Who Say Chill, to discuss what is an incredibly interesting and novel approach to building a Pantheon in your TTRPG campaigns. So you can catch that interview with Daniel this Thursday from 8 p.m. I'm really looking forward to kind of getting our teeth into this. It's something I'm very interested in when it comes to world building. Next Monday, we return to the world of Saving Grace. There's TTRPG Trials, and there'll be a brand new episode of Romance in the Dungeon out Friday week. So until then, A big thank you to everybody who joined us in chat this evening, who followed along, who watched, who shared. And we'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.